Well, suppose we wanted to use the leader command to attach a label to what is going to be a bird bath sculpture there. So we go dimensions and leader, and the prompt, if you look down in the command area, says specify the arrowhead position, so we indicate where the arrowhead's going to be, and then where's the text going to be, so we could say here, and then we'll put the text in. It's going to be bird bath sculpture, and we go OK. Now you'll see as we zoom way in here that a number of things are wrong. For the start, we must be drawing with a dashed line type, and our text is far too small, and similarly the arrowhead at the end of here is far too small. So there are a number of things that we need to fix up here. We need to set our current line type away from that. We probably want to change our layer. We're on the SketchUp layer, and we certainly want to format the style of dimensioning. So let's firstly click in here, and we'll change our line type to by a layer. So now whatever we draw on, whatever layer we draw on, that will control the line type that will result. So we've done that. Let's, for this sake, we'll put things back on a layer called, for the sake of another one, L-furniture. So now we know if we put that, if we did that leader again, it'd go on the right layer in the right line type. What I'm now going to do though is to format that dimension, so it's dimension styles. We want to set up our own dimension style. So we'll make a new one, and we'll call this one, for the sake of a different name, we'll just call it Sue, and we'll say new. So now we have a style called Sue. We've also got one called Style 1 that I inadvertently made them, and Standard. So under Geometry, we want to change our arrow size. So I would suggest by starting, we'll start with 150 units. We'll extend it beyond the line about 100, offset it from the origin. I'm just making a guess at these numbers, but here we'd certainly want our text height, because we might want to plot it, say 1 to 100, and we want the height to end up 2.5 millimeters. We could try 250 for that height, and offset from the dimension line maybe 25. And I hasten to add, these are all just stabs at this. Under units, we certainly don't want much in the way of precision, and here's our list. So we've got to, we'll make that as our current style. So we'll just give it a try, and remember we've just had a stab at things, and we'll see how we go. So it's dimension and leader, respond to the prompt, indicate here, and put in our text. Now as I look at that, I think, oh, our text height is just a little too large. If I click on the leader now, see how I can move it around and position it the way I want. I think we've got our arrowheads pretty right, but our text height's just that little bit too big. So it's just a matter of going back to dimensions, dimension style, go into text, and well, I think maybe 180 might work well enough, and there we are. I could check it and accurately map it to this one, because the height there is 200. So if we wanted the two to match precisely, we'd make that height 200. So a leader is a really efficient way of labeling things, because you can position things very nicely indeed. I can move that down to there. I've got great control, and if I move it over, if I move the text over here, you'll see it comes in nicely. The key issue with dimensioning is try not to cross lines. So I'd prefer to have that out there, so that in this drawing I'm not crossing over any boundary lines or anything that's important in the drawing. So I hope that helps.